was up in a ponytail, her favorite dress tied in a bow. Today was Daddy's day at school, and she couldn't wait to go. But her mommy tried to tell her that she should probably stay home, why the kids might not understand if she went to school alone. But she was not afraid. She knew just what to say, what to tell her classmates of why he wasn't here today. But still her mother worried for her to face this day alone, and that's why once again she tried to keep her daughter home. But the little girl went to school, eager to tell them all about a dad she never sees, a dad who never calls. There were daddies along the back wall for everyone to meet, children squirming impatiently, anxious in their seats. One by one, the teacher called each student from the class to introduce their daddy as seconds slowly passed. At last the teacher called her name, and every child turned to stare. Each of them was searching for a man who wasn't there. "Where's her daddy at?" she heard a boy call out. "She probably doesn't have one," another student dared to shout. And somewhere from near the back she heard a daddy say, "Looks like another deadbeat dad, too busy to waste his day." The words did not offend her as she smiled up at her mom, who looked back at her teacher who told her to go on. And with hands behind her back, slowly she began to speak, and out from the mouth of a child came words incredibly unique. "My daddy couldn't be here because he lives so far away, but I know he wishes he could be here since this is such a special day. And though you cannot meet him, I wanted you to know all about my daddy and how he loves me so. He loved to tell me stories and taught me to ride my bike. He surprised me with pink roses and taught me to fly a kite. We used to share fudge sundaes and ice cream in a cone, and although you cannot see him, I'm not standing here alone. 'Cause my daddy's always with me. I know because he told me he'll be here in my heart forever." And with that, her little hand reached up and lay across her chest, feeling her own heart beat beneath her favorite dress. And somewhere in the crowd of dads, her mother stood in tears, proudly watching her daughter, who was wise beyond her years. For she stood up for the love of a man not in her life, doing what was best for her, doing what was right. And then she dropped her hand back down, staring straight into the crowd. She finished with a voice so soft, but its message clear and loud. "I love my daddy very much. He's my shining star, and if he could, he'd be here, but heaven's just too far. You see, he was a fireman and died just this past year when airplanes hit the towers and taught Americans to fear. And sometimes when I close my eyes, it's like he never went away, and then she closes her eyes and saw him there that day." And to her mother's amazement, she witnessed with surprise a room full of daddies and children who all started to close their eyes. Who knows what they saw before them? Who knows what they felt inside? Perhaps for merely a second they saw him at her side. "I know you're with me, Daddy," into the silence she called out. What happens next made believers out of those who filled the room with doubt. Not one in that room could explain it, for each of their eyes had been closed, but there on the desk beside her was a fragrant long-stemmed pink rose. And a child was blessed, if only for a moment, by the love of her bright shining star, and given the gift of believing that heaven's never too far.
Aww, that was sad. Why don't you read me happy stuff? God, okay. Say thank you, everybody.
No, I'm good.